What's up, everybody? It's the Hardy Construction. You can find us at hardyconstruction.tumblr.com, youtube.com/hardyconstruction, as well as facebook.com/the Hardy Construction with your host Comp. And
A girl walks home alone at night.
today's film is
It's my name. A girl walks home alone at night.
A Girl Walks Home Alone at Night, directed by Anna Lily Amirpour, starring Sheila Vand, Arash Marandi, Marshall Manesh, and a whole bunch of other people. Is a 2014 it says here, but I think it's 2015. It was released on 20th of April of 2015, so, and based on a short. It's about, in an Iranian ghost town, Bad City, a place that reeks of death and loneliness. The townspeople are unaware they are being stalked by a lonesome vampire. So, Denny, what do we know about this movie?
We know that it's Iranian, and it's about a girl who's a vampire that stalks a town called Bad City.
And they don't speak English. I mean, come on, people, get with time. Anyway, it's
Don't
spoken
you
in
know
Farsi.
English is the business language?
Don't you know English am the way to speakers? So it's a film that's spoken in Farsi, and it's an Iranian.
It sounds like such a pretty language, actually.
It sounds very lyrical.
Yeah.
It's an Iranian Western vampire, according to Elijah Wood. I don't understand the Western aspect of it, but
It feels like that to me. It felt like a Robert Rodriguez.
I think Western for me usually is three guys shooting at each other at the end. But I guess I'm right. Once I saw
You're
they had an
close-minded.
They had an oh boy, wait till we get to my real close-minded part of this movie. Anyway, once I saw the interview on Vice, because Vice I think produced this film as well as Elijah Wood's company Spectre Vision.
I love Elijah Wood's company.
He's awesome, and he comes out. He hangs out with you a lot. Is that what you?
Oh yeah, no, me and him, we chill all the time.
Yeah, in Vice you can see where the idea that Western comes in because of director Anna Lily Amirpour. Amirpour. I'm just gonna call her Anna Lily. She apparently she used to watch a lot of westerns with her father when she was younger, and I think you would probably fall in love with her because.
Well, I'm in love with the main actress.
She almost looks like her too, a little bit older, but I think you'd fall in love with her just how her style is, because she wears like punk rock band shirts and she skateboards. She actually is the skateboard girl. The one she plays the skateboarding vampire girl when she's not doing it, because Sheila Vand, who plays the girl, she's not really skateboarding. Yeah, she sort of looks like her. Yes, that's what happens. Anyway, so Anna Lily was saying that she used to watch a lot of westerns, and they kind of compared the Sergio Leone kind of spaghetti westerns. Mm-hmm. And I looked at it and I was like, yeah, you're right. It does have that kind of western effect where there's a lot of wide shots and very weird static images. This film is very art house, and it's very if you take it the wrong way, people might feel like it's a little too pretentious, because there is no. It
doesn't come off as pretentious to me.
I don't think so at all. I love this movie. I thought this was great. But I'm a particular kind of film goer who's kind of like, I'll give an art film the benefit of the doubt more than any other film for the most part.
Yeah, well, I know. I agree, actually.
And it's shot in black and white, and it's really highly stylized. And I had come off of working on a black and white film a long time ago, and it's always hard to, get the right lighting, especially when you don't have a crew. But the lighting here is like really good, and everything looks, really stylized, very beautiful looking photography.
It made me want to live in Bad City.
Yeah, Bad City. It's funny while watching this. Here's my ignorance of the film. I didn't, and here comes where my stupidity is showing. I was watching it thinking, wow, I was like, this movie's made in Iran. I was like, wow, everything looks really nice for Iran. Like, because all I know from what I've seen is when I'll skip channels and see Fox News, Iran's like blowing themselves up, or just wars going on, and supposedly we're at war with Iran and all that horse shit. And then I realized this movie was shot in California, so I was like, oh, okay. I was like,
yeah,
oh,
and also
it was shot in Taft,
I didn't realize
California.
It was like a fully American thing.
Yeah, I noticed, because I was looking at the houses. I was like, why are we all fighting with these people? They have houses, like they have houses just like us. They breathe and they bleed just like us.
We are the same.
We must understand our enemies. These people aren't our enemies. Anyway, what's the basic plot of this movie? There is no real storyline that's happening. There is sort of a storyline, but there's no kind of.
I guess it would be a guy falls in love with this mysterious vampire chick who kills his
Yeah,
dad.
he doesn't know she's a vampire. So there's this main guy named
Well,
Arash.
I think he does at the end.
No, I don't think he knows she's a vampire. I think he
I
just
don't
thinks
know.
that she killed somebody at the end. That's
Well,
it.
she
We'll
knows
get
that he
to that.
killed her dad.
There'll be spoilers, right? But he doesn't know how. She just finds. Okay, listen, we'll get to it. Anyway, Arash is this gentleman who cuts a very dashing figure, and they said that he kind of comes off as James Deanish, which I guess is the right way to put it, because he's walking around in a white tee and jeans, and he has a car that he's worked on for over 2,000 days, which I think is 6 years. And he's a handsome
math.
fella. He's a handsome fella, but he's kind of an introverted kind of guy, I would say, because he's
Yes.
working for this
He's
other
very
family. I
in
guess
his own
he's
head. Very
he's
sexy
a-
and mysterious.
he's like a hedge trimmer sort of guy. I guess who
Who
cleans the hedges
steals
for his
earrings
rich
from his
family.
clients.
Because they have this hot daughter that he works for. Oofa, she hot, right? The one that had the princess played by
I
Rome
think that
Chandaloo.
I think that the vampire girl is way hotter.
That's because you like something about her character. She's weird, awkward chick, and she's not a stuck-up bitch like the princess is. That's probably what's making the...
No, she's hotter. She's definitely hotter.
She is hot. No, she is hot. But Shada has that quote-unquote traditional beautiful face.
I don't care. I
And
like the
exactly,
other
that's why, because I understand what you're saying. I think the girl is very hot too, okay? Leave me alone, all right?
girl.
Jesus Christ.
No, I only think she's hot alone.
So
It's me. It's just me.
Shida is this rich woman, rich daughter who is with a rich family. She doesn't really factor that much into the film, besides giving Arash some of his own what is it, ecstasy pills that he takes from her. But we're
Yeah.
kind of skipping something, because at the beginning I thought there was a semi villain in this film who was actually taken care of within
He was
15,
awesome.
20 minutes into the movie.
I want to get a tattoo like that on my neck.
That's Saeed the Pimp, played by Dominic Raines, and I was like, where have I seen this guy's look before? And it was exactly this guy named Ninja, who's in like this rap group
Okay.
called Dire Antwood, and you would
Oh,
love
okay.
the girl that sings in that group. You know who Dire Antwood is, right?
I've seen
They're
a
in
couple of
that
their music
film.
videos.
Yeah, they're this weird kind of South African rap group, and they're in this movie called Chappie that just came out. So if you want to see what this guy's look is based on, just look up Dire Antwood. And I was like, yeah, it's exactly what he looks like. So I guess he couldn't speak Farsi, and they couldn't put him in the movie, but he basically looks just like that guy. And anyway, so he's a pimp, and he's like a drug dealer. He actually sells drugs to Aresh's father, who's this guy who was, I think, bitter about his wife dying, right?
Aw.
And he kind of just lives in this kind of purgatory state where he just keeps taking heroin. I don't know how you just end up taking heroin. I mean, there's a lot of people that do take heroin.
Well, he was sick, so it was probably as a painkiller sort of thing at first.
But I think he was sick because he wasn't on the heroin. Because you know how the
Well,
whole withdrawal thing.
I think he was sick first,
And
and
then
then,
the heroin, okay.
got addicted to heroin, and now he's just addicted to heroin.
Yeah, there was a whole lot of asterisks because I'm so stupid that I was like, wow, they would allow this in I thought this was an Iranian film that was just picked up by Americans.
Yeah, no,
You know?
I was thinking it
So
too,
this-
though, when I saw the
'cause
girl
I was like,
boobs
there's
in one
scene-
scene, I
there's
was
a
like, oh,
scene where-
wow, they're allowed to do that. Okay.
Yeah, there was a scene where a woman is giving oral sex to a guy. There's drug usage. There's like pure violence, and I was like, "Wow, they could do this." And then I was like, "Oh!" When I saw it was made in California, I was like, "Oh, okay." I was like, "All right, so it's not made in Iran."
California is the Iran of America.
I'm completely unaware of what life is like in Iran and how Well, I'm sure there's a lot of them who don't know how life is around here.
Well,
and so
now we have a
they see
little
that-
insight. There's
they see our
vampire
McDonald's
women
commercials.
wandering around. And
They see our commercials and they think that we're all eating McDonald's every day, so that's probably what it is. And
well,
stuff
aren't
like
we,
that.
though?
And then we have superheroes running around like Spider-Man. So the girl is this mysterious cloaked figure. Oh, she's wearing a hijab, I believe, right? Is that what that's called?
I don't
that
know.
kind of traditional garb that women wear in Middle Eastern countries. Yeah, it's sort of a hijab. I can't really say. Maybe it looks like it's more of like not a hijab, I guess, because I don't want to get into this clothing because I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. She kind of has the Mary Magdalene look, and she walks around in the darkness and she kind of stalks everybody that lives in this place called Bad City. And it sounds cool that Bad City is sort
Apparently
of
only
sounds
like 10 people live there, though.
Yeah, I know. Bad City sounds like some sort of an 80s video game place where you fight, to get
Yeah,
your
like
girlfriend back.
Final Fight or
Or
Streets of
Double
Rage.
Dragon or something. And so Arash's, his car gets taken away by the pimp. And he gets angry. He's very an internalized guy, and he's really good actor because his face is doing most of the acting in this film, and he's like he seems to be very. Well, would you think he's more childlike, or he's just more like an angry teenage boy? But he's not annoying. I don't think he's a bad character at all. I think
he's not annoying at all. I think
he's got a lot of shit.
He's deep. He's deep.
So his father, Hossein the junkie, is like we said on drugs all the time, and Arash is basically flipping the bill for his dad's well, he has to because his father owes money to that pimp. And anyway,
do you think that before the vampire, killed him when she was watching him, try to have sex with her and be on heroin? Do you think that she was like getting ready to have like a little porn film for her own benefit?
I don't know. Are there cameras where they live in Bad City? You think there's a porn production company? There's only
her eyes are the cameras. It was
and
there is personal porn.
What was bugged out was that pit of dead bodies. It was just like a large pit of dead bodies. I don't know. That's all the bodies that I assume the vampire girl did. That killed all those people and just threw them in there.
Sure, but I mean, people just walk past that like it's nothing.
Yeah, the fact that nobody's mentioning it or talks about it in the film, they just because a couple of bodies are just thrown into that pit, and I thought I was like, wow, did they do this in Iran? I was completely stupefied, and then when I found out it takes place, I guess Bad City is in Iran according to this film, so whatever, we'll just leave it at that. But the pimp is actually taken out by the vampire girl, and this leads to Arash. This is early in the film, and Arash takes the money. So, what are things that worked for you with this film, and how it kind of moved its story along? Because it's not a traditional story.
It's so slow paced, but everything just looks so fucking nice that I don't care. It's so nice.
The film that I think I would kind of compare this just slightly, not as much, is the other film that we saw a while back, which was Spring, because it is a non-traditional kind of romance film. It's not really romance
between a monster and a human, and they're both women too. Yeah,
right. It's falling in love with a supernatural woman, I guess, kind of genre. I'm sure there's a lot of films like that. I guess was it Return of the Living Dead 3? That's the only one film I can think about. But I've never seen that one.
About this.
But
I fell in love with Reagan in The Exorcist,
and that just happened last week. But this is a very slickly made film, and I think what really makes it work is that it has a lot of
Innocent Blood.
It has. Oh yeah, right. Yeah, it was a good movie. This movie has a lot of Western music in it. Well, it actually has some Western music in it. Great soundtrack. The soundtrack is so cool.
Yeah.
And the way that let's get into the main protagonist, who's Sheila Van, who plays the girl. How would you describe her character?
She is so hot. She's just so hot. Oh my god. She seems like a good sort of bodyguard or something for the city.
What is about her character that works for you?
Although she does kill a homeless guy. She's very mysterious and she's super hot and seems very sad. She seems very sad.
She is played very well by Sheila Van, who has this kind of lost look on her face. She just has this blank expression on for the most part of the film, but that blank expression is sort of equal to somebody looking at you with an alien sort of presence. You know what I mean? It's just someone who's calculated and thinking about the next move.
Mm. And I feel like her and Scarlett Johansson in Under the Skin would get it along.
That was funny because somebody compared this movie with that one. Because I looked at the IMDb boards and a lot of people, it's very split on people thinking this is a very pretentious film, which I can see.
It's not
people
pretentious.
Thinking that. I don't think it's pretentious at all. I just think it's a great movie. But I can see where people will think it's not a traditional vampire movie because they're expecting people to die every 3 seconds. Her vampire stuff is great when her fangs just kind of pop out. There's also Anna Lily actually, I think, worked with a cartoonist, and they actually released a graphic novel based on this, which kind of...
the film was based on that, not the other way around.
Oh, was it? I thought it was a short film that they made.
I'm reading it right here. It says, the film is based on the graphic novel with the same name.
Oh, awesome! I got to check out that book then. But yeah, you can if you want to learn a little bit more about the comics. The thing with comics is that you'll get to learn a lot more exposition on storyline. So I haven't had the pleasure of reading that yet, but the movie is just incredibly stylized, especially the scenes where and especially with a low budget. You can tell the movie didn't have a high budget for it. I think all the budget went into lighting, and I'm sure at night to light a film, oh my god, that must have been a fucking nightmare. All that money went into
right. All the light has to be like 10 times brighter, right?
Yeah, because that's why a lot of low budget films are shot in daytime, because that way you don't have to use so much lighting. You know what I mean, like that. But this movie is just all night, and everything is so it's so it just looks like if you ever seen a really good noir film, and you see how well it's shot and it's black and white, that's what this looks like. It has that clean palette, and there's also the prostitute who. There's a what is she? She's pretty good too.
What's
older than 30?
What's the other girl? There's like another girl who's dancing around.
Mozan Marno Ati, the prostitute. Which other girl? There is only
maybe
the princess.
That was the prostitute, but she just looked different in that scene or something.
I was kind of confused. Was the father the one who first runs into the girl earlier and he runs away because she's kind of mirroring his movement?
Yeah,
I was awesome. Okay, I wasn't aware about that until I thought about it at the end. But that was a great scene where he kind of walks and sees her in the distance, and she's just mimicking every move of his.
And then she's fucking with that little boy.
Yeah, the little boy. She's asking him if he's a good boy or a bad boy. Milad Egbal as the
if I was a vampire, I would totally fuck with little kids all the time.
The director has a nice little cameo as the skeleton girl with the princess when they take the drugs from.
Oh, that's her. Cool.
Yeah, so I liked it a lot. I mean, I don't want to keep droning on about how much I like this film, but it's just it's very sleek. It's very stylized. It's not a traditional horror film at all. It's more of a character piece that feels like a really well done indie film that just happens to have vampires in it.
This is now a technical, maybe a biology type of question. I don't know if you'll know the answer, but do you think when they have sex, can she get like wet and stuff?
I would guess so. I always thought. I forget which book. I know you're asking me like in a comedy way, but I'm like, you notice how I didn't laugh at your jokes, so that took it very seriously. But I forgot where I read it, but I don't know if it was Anne Rice books or whatever else. Anne Rice books, the vampires can't.
Well, I know Lestat eats out a girl with her period.
But I heard that the vampire's blood are used as fuel, so maybe it looks like she has a period every time he has sex, which kind of, I guess,
that's kind of freaky.
Listen,
Rainbow kisses
women.
and stuff.
Come on, how dare you, misogynist, and your patriarchal views on women's vaginas is very disgusting. How dare you?
She's a vampire. She's not a woman.
Everybody, go to Jezebel.com and complain about Dan. Anyway, but I think the film probably would have suffered if it didn't have the vampire angle. The whole selling of the film is that it's a vampire film. That's no question about it. The poster is a very cool, very how would you call that art? It's just very simple sort of blocky art of the shadowed girl.
The name of the movie, I didn't know it was about vampire. Like I didn't really know anything about it, and it makes it sound like it's gonna be like one of these fucking like Last House on the Left type of movies.
Or a slasher. Yeah, it sounds like that. Because when I was reading about it, I heard it was like I said, there was a lot of split decisions about it, and it was people talking shit about it. So I was like, uh-oh. But then when I saw like some scenes, I saw like half an hour into it when they have that first scene where she's dancing alone in her apartment, and she's dancing to this really great song. I'm trying to think of the name of the song. Whatever. But anyways, she has this great dancing scene. As soon as I saw that, I was like, wow, because I was like completely blown away at how slick it looked. Well, yeah, she's hot. All right, I get it, Danny. I get it.
I can't keep saying it, but it's just so true.
But it's just a great scene, and it's just like you just see it come in and out of focus, and she's dancing by herself, and it's a band called Farah, Farah, called Dancing Girls.
Yeah, I kind of want to like buy the soundtrack.
I got the soundtrack. It's good. It's just very good.
Really
Everything
good.
Yeah, you'll get to appreciate the soundtrack. What were things about other characters? Did you find anything interesting about any of the other characters, or you just mostly Arash and the girl kind of?
I really liked. I wish they would have done a little more with the little boy, just because like, You know,
Yeah, he was
she's
so
saying
afraid
he's not a
to
good
tell
boy,
Arash.
but like, what did he do that was bad? I don't know.
Yeah, he was so afraid to tell Arash that the girl, because the girl had threatened him earlier. She said, "I'll watch you forever." It's actually quite a possibility. And I love that part
What a
at
thing
the
to
end
say to
when
someone.
Arash is like wanting to run off with the girl, and he sees the cat walk in, the cat that his father had. So that puts it to him that his father was murdered by this woman, and it's never inferred to him that she's a vampire. Like, I don't know where you get the idea that he thinks that
Well,
she's a
at
vampire.
the very least, he knows that she had
Yeah, that
something
she
to do
killed
with
him.
the death.
Yeah, because I don't think they showed him.
And also,
inspecting.
she had a collection of like 1,000 watches.
Yeah, right, jewelry. So she's been killing people, but I'm sure he doesn't know what the fuck's going on. That there's a vampire. The only other person that knew it was the prostitute. That's
It's
it.
not much
And-
harder to figure it out though, because she was only around at night. She kills people. He'll figure it out sooner or later. When she
Oh,
doesn't
yeah, he
get,
will.
when
I'm
she
sure he'll
gets wet for him and blood comes out instead of like lubricants.
Another film that's like this is obviously Let the Right One In. Both versions of that with somebody kind of
Yeah.
falling in love with a vampire girl.
I think I like the French. Is it French, right? Swedish?
What?
Something?
Let the Right One In?
Yeah.
Swedish, the original.
Okay,
one.
yeah, I think I like the Swedish version better.
I like the Swedish version of Let the Right One In, but I love the serial killer thing that they did with the American version. They did a lot better with the serial killer stuff. So that's where I split.
Right,
I thought it was
caretaker or whatever.
Yeah, I thought it was a very respectable remake. Oh, we reviewed that already. Go listen to that episode. The fuck are we talking about it here? Anyway,
Yeah.
I'm just trying to fill out time. But I like this film. I'll give this movie what was I thinking? Was there anything that was too kind of out there for you, like the gentleman? I don't know if I want to call him a trans gentleman, or trans person. The
Oh,
one that
that's who it
playing with
was.
the
Yeah,
balloon.
no, I thought that was like another one. I wasn't sure if it was a man or not, but
No,
I was
think
thinking,
it was.
okay, this
I
is
think
a
it was
really
a trans
weird
person because. But then again, because I was gonna say they had men's clothing on while they had that little babushka. Was it a babushka or the hair wrap or something? But I was
I
like,
don't
any
know.
woman can actually wear that clothing too. But he or she, this person is, I would say she. She was.
Oh, if you hear a
playing,
banjo, that's my neighbor downstairs. I'm sorry.
she was playing with a balloon flying in the air. So the second half, latter.
Yeah,
half
what was
of
the
film,
deal with that? Because that scene was so like it was cool. It was
I
a
think
cool
it's just
scene.
shot really well. That's the only thing where, and I didn't have a problem with it either because I like beautiful imagery in a film. And the latter half of this film had a lot more whimsical, like fancy schmancy art house stuff that has nothing to do with plot.
I'll
at
never
all.
complain about that.
Me neither. No, not at all. I'm just saying that's what people will be like. Oh, what's this about? What does that mean? It doesn't mean anything. But
People are
it's
stupid.
just shot really well. I enjoyed it a lot. I'll actually give this movie an 8 out of 10. Yelling at your cat because you think it's the spirit of your dead wife.
Okay, I'm gonna give
That
this
cat's
movie.
a good actor, by the way.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, I was reading
You know
his
how to
thing.
say
He
it
was in
place.
True Lies. I'm gonna give this 9 out of 10. Having a crush on an immortal woman who killed your father.
And with that, Danny, what's the final word?
Vocal.
The horror deconstruction.